Bitcoin again, guys. We're going to briefly go over this, but I just want to point out that you have to understand the implications of this sideways consolidation. So as long as we continue to hold this lower band right here, all right, now I still remember a week ago we popped above it and we closed above it, and everyone was like, oh, here we go. Gareth was wrong. It's going to break out, blah, 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 blah. And then what happens? They get the good old-fashioned rug pull, right? So that's what happens. That's the inevitability. Is you have to understand the confirmation signal about how key it is. You must confirm a breakout to be a breakout.
Gareth Soloway recently conducted an in-depth analysis of the crypto market with a specific focus on Bitcoin and the US dollar. The US dollar is facing a challenging phase as it hovers near a 15-month low against major currencies. Investors eagerly await new triggers to assess the dollar's downward potential after last week's unexpectedly mild U.S. inflation. In response, the U.S. dollar index dropped to 99.587, the lowest level since April 2022, following the revelation of a further easing of U.S. inflation. According to Gareth Soloway, the dollar's major support zone is probably between 90.98 and 97. Before heading lower, there is a possibility of a rally back to approximately 100 to 101. Based on recent data, the US dollar appears to be in a strong position on the 4-hour chart. The current price of 101.018 is higher than the previous close of 100.741. Democratic presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. outlined Bitcoin-related policies that would be put in place if he is elected as the president in 2024. He revealed his plans to back the US dollar with Bitcoin. Bitcoin has actually fallen slightly, which goes against trend. The cryptocurrency has been trading in a tight range between $29,500 and $30,500 for almost a week. Last Friday, it reached its highest level of the year, peaking in the $31,800. Throughout this week, Bitcoin has repeatedly tested crucial short-term support in the mid-$29,000, and currently, the bulls are managing to hold their ground. According to Soloway's prediction, Bitcoin is expected to reverse its trend and retest a previous low. The chart analysis indicates that there are both positive and negative aspects to consider in the current situation. Take a look at some highlights from the discussion that we'd like to share with you. But before we continue, be sure to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications for future updates.
Let's take a look at the dollar here. The dollar has broken down. Look at this amazing trend line here. We've had a breakdown on the dollar. The dollar's catching a little bit of a bid, but look at that. It's forming a bear flag, or at least the preliminary bearish pattern. So my guess is the dollar goes sideways to up for a few more days, and then I think you have more downside on the dollar. I think next downside on the dollar takes us down probably in, it's a little tricky to figure out, but somewhere in this vicinity. I would guess your downside major support kind of comes in somewhere in this zone here, 98 to 97 on the US dollar. But again, you could easily rally back. I mean, if I had to pick, I would say rally back to scene of the crime of these two lows, pivot low, pivot low. And so you're looking at a move back to like 185, maybe 101, somewhere in that vicinity before further downside. But I do think the dollar will head lower per the chart. The only difference would be is if we saw some sort of geopolitical issue where all of a sudden everyone runs into the dollar, then obviously the dollar would get some action there. What did we see? We saw Bitcoin reversing here, and we have now retested this low. Now, the impressive, there's positives and negatives here on the chart. The positive is we're still inside of this band, right? We're still inside of this realm. The positive is also the last 2 days we've been piercing this lower band of 30,000, and they've rescued the market. They've rescued. You've had buyers come in and keep price right around that 30,000 daily close, give or take by a little bit. Today, we're up just fractionally on the Bitcoin price. All right. So again, those are some positives. The negatives are this. Look at how long we've been going sideways. Yes, this is known in technical analysis as bullish consolidation, but really bullish consolidation should break out by now.
According to Soloway's analysis, the potential downside targets for Bitcoin are around $28,500 and $26,900, supported by a major trend line. If the uptrend fails, the price could head towards $25,000, $20,000, or even $15,700. However, Soloway maintains a long-term bullish view, anticipating a breakout and potential upward momentum towards $45,000. Bitcoin is showing a positive performance following a period of consolidation triggered by regulatory actions. Currently trading in the $30,000 range, crypto analysts emphasize the significance of this price range and highlight a specific level that could trigger a bullish surge. Notably, over 1.8 million addresses purchased nearly 900,000 Bitcoin within the $29,000 to $30,000 range, known as the demand zone, which is crucial for Bitcoin's next move. Market analysts speculate that if Bitcoin continues to perform well and remains above the demand zone, it could potentially lead to a surge toward the $35,000 milestone.
If we look at Bitcoin, you hit it here, you hit it here, 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 here. You even kind of got halfway in and it still didn't give way. And so what happens is, let's say there's that fire and there's that cat or that dog inside that you want to save. And you get to a point where you ram the door 50 times and it still doesn't break. What are you going to do? Well, you're going to figure out another way. You're going to maybe go around to a window. You're going to go around to the back door. You're going to leave this area and move away. And that's the thought process where if you can't break out after a certain amount of time, the path of least resistance is to, in this case, the downside. All right. So again, to summarize, Bitcoin's still within this range, but again, if we confirm below this level, you're now headed to 28,500 or so, this pivot. And if you break through that, let's talk about where we're headed. This is my target. Okay, target is 26,900, basically around 27,000. Amazing trend line. Now, I want to be clear on this. As long as this trend line holds, this one here, this white one, then Bitcoin can be bought on pullbacks. Okay, why? Well, very simply, this is an upsloping trend line connecting all the pivot lows together. That means it is an uptrend. The trend is still up. If you break this line and you start trading down in this range, the trend is not up anymore. It has failed, and now you have to think you're probably headed back. First support would be 25,000, then potentially 20,000. And eventually, if you keep breaking these pivot lows, you're going back to that 15,700 level. All right. So again, that's your summary. Now on the upside, let's just say Bitcoin eventually breaks out, which again, I'm a long-term bull. So eventually I do think Bitcoin breaks out. My upside is very simple to calculate here. You take this pivot from 2019, you stretch it right through here. This is my ultimate kind of, 6 to 12 month upside target. You could see that's a beautiful trend line through these lows right through here. And that's around 45,000. So again, if you're able to break above this level, this 31,000 and confirm, then you're headed to about 45,000. There is resistance around 35 that you'll have to monitor, but I still think, again, the momentum probably carries us up to about 45,000.
Gareth Soloway's recent analysis of the crypto market provides insights into Bitcoin and the US dollar. The US dollar faces challenges near a 15-month low, with Soloway identifying a major support zone between 90.98 and 97. Bitcoin has been consolidating in a tight range and testing short-term support, with Soloway predicting a potential reversal and retesting of a previous low. Market analysts highlight Bitcoin's demand zone between $29,000 and $30,000, which could trigger a bullish surge toward $35,000. The crypto market remains dynamic, presenting both opportunities and challenges ahead. Will Bitcoin ever rise again to its previous heights? On this note, we conclude our video. If you found this content valuable, show your support by giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel to stay updated with the latest news and videos. Thank you for joining us.